Most drivers think weak AC always means a huge repair bill, but that's not always true. Sometimes the real problem is something simple, cheap, and hiding right in front of you. In this video, I'm going to show you hidden car AC secrets that can make your system blow colder again. Some of these fixes are completely free, and some can save you hundreds of dollars. And stay until the end, because the #1 test can tell you whether your AC problem needs a cheap part or a major compressor repair. Let's start with one of the most ignored AC killers in any car, the condenser. Most people don't even know where it is, but it can quietly ruin your cooling performance. Your condenser sits at the front of the car, so it gets hit by bugs, dust, road grime, and leaves every single day. Over time, that buildup blocks heat from escaping properly. When the condenser can't release heat, your compressor has to work harder. That extra strain can make your AC weaker and push expensive components toward failure. The good news is this fix is simple. Let the car cool down, use medium pressure water, and gently wash the condenser until the dirt starts clearing away. If grime is stuck deep in the fins, use a soft brush carefully. The goal is to clean it, not bend the fins. This alone can restore airflow and improve cooling. Now let's talk about that nasty smell some AC systems give off. That moldy, musty odor isn't just annoying. It usually means bacteria and moisture are building up inside the system. A lot of that contamination builds up around the intake area and evaporator zone, especially when leaves and moisture get trapped there. Dark, damp places are perfect for mold growth. One quick trick people use is disinfectant spray through the AC intake after removing the cabin filter. This helps pull cleaner air through the system and reduce odor fast. But before you do anything else, check your cabin air filter. If it's clogged, dusty, and packed with debris, your AC airflow is already being strangled. A dirty cabin filter doesn't just reduce airflow. It can also trap smells, moisture, and allergens, making the whole system feel weak even when the AC itself is still working. Most cars let you replace the cabin filter in just a few minutes. Open the glove box, release the stops, slide the old filter out, and install a fresh one in the same direction. Now here's one of the easiest AC secrets in any car. Use the recirculation button properly. That little button can change how fast your cabin cools down. When recirculation is on, your AC recools the already cooled air inside the cabin. That's much easier than constantly trying to chill burning hot outside air. That means faster cooling, less strain on the system, and often better fuel efficiency too. It's one of the simplest habits that makes a real difference on hot days. Parking matters more than most drivers think. If your car sits in direct sun, the interior becomes an oven, and your AC has to fight all that stored heat before you feel comfortable. That's why parking in shade or using a windshield sunshade can help your AC work much less. Lower cabin heat at the start means colder air reaches you faster. Now, let's get into something more technical. Refrigerant level. If refrigerant leaks out over time, the system loses its ability to absorb and move heat properly. Low refrigerant usually shows up as weak cooling, longer cool down time, or air that feels cool one moment and warm the next. These are classic signs something is off. A recharge kit is often much cheaper than a shop visit, but it only helps if the leak is minor. If refrigerant keeps disappearing, the real issue still has to be found. Another part almost nobody checks is the cooling fan. If the fans behind the radiator or condenser stop spinning, the system can't dump heat efficiently, and cold air suffers. A quick test is simple. Start the car, turn the AC on full, wait a few minutes, then check if both fans are running. If one isn't spinning, that's a big clue. Replacing a bad fan can be far cheaper than ignoring it and cooking the whole system. Sometimes a small airflow issue becomes a major AC failure if you leave it too long. Now check your serpentine belt. This belt helps drive the compressor, and if it slips, cracks, or squeals, the compressor may not spin properly. A worn belt can reduce compressor performance and create heat, noise, and future failure. It's one of those cheap maintenance items that can prevent a much bigger bill later. Here's another habit people get wrong. Pre-cooling the car by letting it idle forever. Many drivers think sitting there with the AC on for 15 minutes is smart. It usually isn't. A smarter method is to start the car, run the AC, and crack the windows briefly so trapped heat can escape. That helps the system cool the cabin faster without wasting as much fuel. Then once the cabin temperature drops, roll the windows up and let recirculation do its job. This approach feels faster because you're removing heat instead of trapping it inside. Now here's a strange one. Low engine coolant can actually affect your AC. If the engine overheats, some cars reduce or shut down AC operation to protect the engine. So if your AC suddenly gets warmer while the engine temperature climbs, don't just blame the AC system. The problem may be your cooling system instead. Check the coolant reservoir when the engine is cool. If the level is low, topping it off with the correct coolant may solve more than just engine temperature problems. Next, let's talk about a tiny part that can stop your compressor from working, the AC relay. When this small electrical piece fails, the compressor may never engage at all. A simple trick is to swap that relay with another one of the same rating, like the horn relay, just to test it. If the AC suddenly comes back, you've found the problem. There's also an evaporator temperature sensor hidden deeper in many cars. If this sensor fails, the AC may shut off randomly or blow inconsistent temperatures. This is one of those parts that can be cheap to buy, but expensive to access, because labor is the real cost. That's why diagnosing it properly matters before replacing anything major. Now here's a comfort trick that also affects cooling efficiency. Don't aim every vent straight at your face. That feels nice for a second, but it doesn't cool the whole cabin efficiently. A better method is to point the center vents upward and the side vents toward the windows. That helps cold air circulate through the entire car more evenly and cool everything faster. And finally, the number one test. Check the compressor clutch. If the clutch works, the repair may be small. If it fails, that's when you start looking at bigger AC problems. Knowing this one test can save you from buying parts you never needed.